Hello and welcome to a Brit Reacts to Bollywood. Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum, Sat Sri Akal Ji, Vanakkam, all the greetings to you and yours wherever you are. I love this film that I'm about to look at. I haven't actually looked at this film before, but it's got a couple of the actors of the last film I was looking at, which was Pir Bidil Hai Hindustani. And that period's really interesting to me, the kind of peak hype and optimism of the 1990s. I'm looking at a film called RAM JAANE. Now look at this poster. This is the maddest poster, or one of, I've seen in a while. This is a kind of throwback because this is an older style of poster. And I'm so curious why they chose this, because this is not a 1990s or early 2000s style poster. This is a sort of 60s or 70s style poster with very kind of old lettering and collage effect on the images here. We've got two different images from both sides of Shah Rukh Khan. We've got Juhi Chawla in the middle, kind of looking like a Hawaiian kind of dancer in Western imagery, at least. We've got a little gun on the left. We've got a very sinister looking couple of guys on the bottom right there. We've got a lady who looks like she's being preyed upon or something there on the bottom. And we've got another guy on the bottom left looking serious, but maybe he's a good guy. And we've got sort of really powerful classical style Hindi alphabet saying RAM JAANE. We've got the English version of RAM JAANE up at the top in blue. I think it's a really characterful poster, and I really enjoy this kind of movie poster because it brings an atmosphere all of its own from the artist to the audience. This is a relationship between the artist and the audience. It's not strictly about the film per se. It will give elements of the film, it will give a sense of the film, but this is completely new creativity and I love it. The film is in English translated as Ram Knows, which Ram is an expression of divinity, as I understand. It's a 1995 Hindi language action thriller directed by Rajiv Mehra about an unnamed boy portrayed by Shah Rukh Khan, not named, who grows up to become a gangster. He uses the name Ram JAANE after meeting a priest who, in response to the boy asking what his real name was, said RAM JAANE, Ram knows. Oh, as in the English expression, it's God knows. Oh, God knows what was going on. That's really interesting. The film borrows its premise from the 1938 Hollywood gangster movie Angels with Dirty Faces, which is a classic of cinema. It's the fourth time Khan played a negative role after Bazigar, Dar and Anjam. Ram JAANE was released to a positive reception from audiences and was a commercial success. Khan bought the rights to this film under his banner Red Chillies Entertainment. This is the second Rajiv Mehra film to feature Shah Rukh Khan after Chamatkar. In 1992, that film was average box office success, whereas Ram JAANE proved a hit. The synopsis is, a street hustler who has spent several years in and out of prison decides to reform his life as he teaches street kids to stay away from crime, but has trouble maintaining these ideals in his own life. Now, this is an interesting alternative poster, similar kind of idea, a tough guy, and then we've got this sort of very Hawaiian looking traditional style girl. So this is a really curious kind of style of film. It is really interesting when you get a very loved clown-like performer in Shah Rukh Khan who takes on a sort of darker role, a heavier role, a more sinister role. So let's see what we think, because this can't just be for him. This has to be a form of entertainment for the Indian public. So let's see how it comes across to me. This kind of reminds me of Scarface, actually, or one of those gangster films where he becomes big, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, he's still clowning. What? That's ridiculous. That's unbelievable. He's still lovable. Nice atmosphere, actually. Great. Such a weird mix. I love this shot. I mean, he's losing half the drink, but this is definitely Scarface territory. This is all very glamorous. I love you. I mean, this is glorious and grand and stunning. I mean, look at that shot. Beautiful portrait style shots. Nice. This is dangerous, actually, this kind of... I'll explain what I mean. Wow, that shot's stunning. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. He's got no shirt and he's got gold. Really simply, I think that there's an element of danger in just watching a video like this because it doesn't give the context of the whole film. I think I'd have to watch the whole film to get a sense of what this story is telling, because if you just looked at this song in isolation, you'd get the sense that this is a glamorous, attractive, exciting lifestyle, and that he's living the best life and he's charming this beautiful girl in these stunning locations and he's having a wonderful life. But of course, if you looked at just one scene in Scarface, which this definitely reminds me of, has a link to, you'd think he's living the American dream. But the truth is that this is a violent, scary, dangerous, depraved, terrible world of criminals, especially in that period where there was coke trafficking and there was all sorts of different types of drugs or extortion or other forms of violence to get money. Young people growing up watching stuff like that really we'll get a warped sense of the reality of that kind of lifestyle, because in Scarface, that life collapsed because it was unsustainable, because it destroyed the person's mental state, because the drugs were destroying their mental state. So when you look at something like this is almost like a Walt Disney version, a circus family entertainment version of a crime story, i.e. Angels with Dirty Faces. And I suppose if we're going to look at the whole film, it would be similar to the story of Angels with Dirty Faces, where he has the heights and then he collapses. And I don't know whether he survives in this film or not, or whether he just becomes an honest man and lives a normal life with this girl at the end, whether he's given that privilege. But that is a really interesting aspect of this story, and it's outside really the bounds of just the filmmaking. It's a wider storytelling issue, but I think it's beautifully told. This really stunning cinematography, clear portrait-like pictures of these gorgeous, stunning environments. The outfits are on point. They look glamorous. They look hot. They look amazing. He is so charming and still clown-like, and you can see watching his performance that he's catered it slightly, so it's not just the lovable everyman. You can see that he's a slightly more rougher, cheeky, with a potential dodgy side to him kind of character. But it's not much of a change, is it? The thing for Shah Rukh Khan is, I can see, is that he jumped in that period from one project to another just like that. I think that's really challenging for an actor, because the temptation is, you're living your life, you've got family, you've got romantic life, you're buying things, you've got a home, you've got responsibilities. How much time are you going to really dedicate to developing a separate character for that story? How much time are you going to absorb that story? And I think he does a good enough job of it, but I can see that he's just, watching a number of different films, he's charming in every single one of them, and he's clowning in every single one of them, and he's going from one to another to another. How much differentiation are we getting? And that's the sad thing, like, in terms of actors. There must have been so many actors available at that time, but they kept going to people like Shah Rukh Khan because those were the names that pulled in the audiences. But it would be so interesting to see somebody else do this role with a little bit more of an edge of danger. Is that an outrageous thing to say? It's like the same thing today in the West. It's the same ridiculous thing. They're constantly hiring the same actors. JUHI CHAWLA was not given a lot to work with, but she was given enough where you could see that she was charmed, she was tempted, she wasn't used to this lifestyle, she was trying to protect herself, she sensed that there was an element of danger, she was trying to prevent herself from falling in too deep. That was really interesting, because you could see all of that without a single line or much physicality for her to do. She was reacting, and that's the best form of acting, as I understand it. The music was great. It was very commercial. It's such a beautiful visual feast for that period, the mid-90s. I mean, I think the 80s and 90s had that kind of glorious Technicolor aspect to it. I will probably watch this whole film at some point. Maybe I'll do a whole review of it. I am reacting honestly. Thank you so much for your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think specifically of this film and what other films might be interesting to look at in these kind of subject matter. All right, I am your Brit reacting to Bollywood. I wish you a wonderful week. Chin chin, cheerio.